Hey, I'm Baby Bry Bry here in Adams Morgan in Washington, D.C. We're gonna go to Songbyrd Record Cafe and Music House and check out some records. Let's go inside. I grew up in Southern California in Long Beach. My mom was also from Southern California. She grew up in a town called Hawthorne, which is where the Beach Boys are from. And so, as early as I can remember, the Beach Boys were just always playing. There was no discussion of the Beatles or the Stones because it was the Beach Boys for everything. And so my mom was always playing music around the house. We were always dancing to something. And around the time I was 8 or 9 or so, I fell head over heels in love with Weird Al Yankovic. And I think that, you know, Weird Al is like this really incredible figure in pop music because an 8 or 9-year-old boy is not going to be cool enough to listen to older stuff, or they might not be allowed to listen to certain types of music. Like, I didn't know anything about Coolio, but I knew every word to Amish Paradise. And so you're kind of exposed to all these genres and styles and artists that you might not have been aware of, you know, going through your existence as, you know, just a little kid. And so I think that kind of exposure to such like a wide variety of music really made me fall in love with it. So Baby Bry Bry was really birthed out of this period of just like feeling very lonely, very confused, and it kind of, I mean, the way I think of Baby Bry Bry is it was a celebration of my flaws, my woes, my whatever. It was this embodiment of some of the same negatives that were bringing me down. It was about like building them up into this larger than life thing that I could use to, I don't know, work through a lot of the stuff that I was kind of like wallowing in. So there's kind of like 3 versions of Baby Bry Bry now. There's Baby Bry Bry the solo act, Baby Bry Bry and Friends, which is like the solo songs being played with, you know, anywhere from 2 to 7 people. And then there's Baby Bry Bry and the Apologists, which is kind of the full show. We actually, when we played at Songbyrd recently, somebody came up afterwards and said, oh, it's just so clear how much you love each other. And I think for music, that every single song I've ever written is a sad song. I don't have any song, I've never written a song in a good mood, I don't know. And yet, when we play, there's this glow, you know, because there's a love behind the loneliness. I'm just really lucky to have these incredible musicians who are incredible friends and have helped, you know. None of us are getting rich off this, believe it or not. Weird Al Yankovic's Dare to Be Stupid was the first CD I ever bought on my own. Marvin Gaye's Here My Dear is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's a concept record that he made when he and his wife were getting a divorce. This is straight up funk go-go style by Trouble Funk. When I moved to DC, I'd heard about go-go, but I didn't really know anything about it. The first go-go records I'd heard, I didn't really understand. But then I went to a go-go, fell in love forever. This is Gene Pitney's Only Love Can Break a Heart. When I started writing music again, I was getting a lot of comparisons to Roy Orbison and kind of the 50s crooners, which was interesting because I'd never really dug into that kind of stuff. My music ear kind of started in the 60s and went from there, but I started going back after I was getting these comparisons, and there's a record store in San Francisco called Rookie Ricardo's. It's a very cool place where you go in and Dick, the owner, brings you 45s to listen to based on what you say you're into. And he brought me a single of Only Love Can Break a Heart, and I sat and listened to it like 3 times in a row because it was, simply put, the greatest song I'd ever heard. I love you, you're loved, and you're beautiful, and it means the world that you keep coming out and listening to me whine on a microphone.
You say you don't love me
That's alright.